Hello everyone, this is Running on Empty Food Review. Well, hello ladies and gentlemen and everyone watching. This is Running on Empty Food Review and I am your host, the Report of the Week. So here we are, trying out a new release from Popeyes. This is probably the most precarious review I've ever done in my life. Probably without a doubt. The adrenaline is pumping right now. I have to tell you that up front. The adrenaline is pumping. I feel like I'm going skydiving and bungee jumping and going on, like a 200 mile per hour motorcycle ride. I'm swimming with the sharks, the megalodon sharks, and everything in between, all in one. Because I'm out here. There's some severe thunderstorms rolling in as we speak, but I said, I want to review this item from Popeyes anyway, so I am, and it's just the excitement from this item, the storms, whew. Boy, I couldn't even exaggerate that properly, but yeah, it's a thrill, alright. Looking for my notes that I took down, here we go. These are the Voodoo Chicken Tenders from Popeyes, and this is the first Popeyes review that I've done since the infamous chicken sandwich, and they've done a few releases since then, but this is one of those things that's got me going, because the moment I saw this, I knew this is going to be that perfect Halloween themed item. Because, who would have thought, right? You have these fast food places that make partnerships. They partner with one place, they partner with another, they get sponsored by this or that. You see this happen all the time, where, you have Burger King and the Cheetos that'll team up, and so on and so forth. Who would have thought that Popeyes would have teamed up with Voodoo Donuts to make these Voodoo Chicken Tenders? I mean, that's the most, insane combination ever, because I remember I'd heard of this donut chain a while back, and it was like, alright, I saw some sort of video on them, and they were only on the West Coast, and then they finally opened up one in Orlando here at Universal Studios, and I remember I went there, it was delicious, the frosting was great, and it was like, I can't believe they got this. So the fact that they're partnering up with this is out of this world. I mean, it is absolutely insane. So, yeah, that was probably the worst joke I've ever done so far. I couldn't help though. Now, the Voodoo Chicken Tenders, though, they are supposed to be sweet, though. Kind of, not like a donut, but they do have a sweetness to it. They're the crispy chicken strips with a garlicky, sweet, chili voodoo sauce, which, again, is supposed to have this type of sweetness to it, so we're partly correct there. But it also is supposed to have a little bit of a spiciness as well. Then it comes with decorative chives on it, so it's just supposed to be like a spicy, sweet flavor to it. $5 meal deal as always. And despite the high humidity, I'm out here, I'm battling the weather, the severe weather, and everything in between. And I even have this little friend right here. It's actually a little voodoo doll of me. You can see with the tie and everything. And there I am with it, right there. Looks just like me. You can see the massive eye compared to the other one, and the nice little Halloween necktie. There are no pins in it at this point, thankfully, but depending on the review, I think that'll probably change at some point soon. Boy, we're really breaking out the bad jokes today, but let's open this up and see what we got. Alright, so it's the chicken tenders with the voodoo sauce. Let's get the focus off right there. That's what they look like. You can see there is some of that sauce on them. They're not totally covered in it. You can see it comes with the biscuit and the side. I got the fries, the standard fries. And if you want more sauce, though, you can get it extra voodoo sauce. But it's supposed to be like a sweet and spicy type of combination, which is something that I look forward to. I always like it where they have that spiciness that isn't too insane, that isn't too crazy, but is intersped with this little bit of a sweetness as well. So that's nice to kind of offset it. We'll put it on the plate right there, the official feeding plate. Like I'm giving a sacrificial offering to you, the viewer, to the YouTube gods. Popeyes corporate. Hopefully I'll get your blessings that this is a good one. Good item. There's the decorative leafy greens. Well, they're not really leafy greens, but you know what I mean. That almost looks like someone flexing their muscles, doesn't it? It kind of looks like me with my massive muscles right there. But you can see partially covered with the sauce, so I think you know what there is to it. I know what there is to it. I'm going to try it out first without any extra sauce. Then what I'll do is I'll try it out with, the extra Voodoo sauce. Really, I just want to try this out, see how it is. And, yeah, Popeyes. One of those places that started off good, then got really, really bad for a time, but they're picking back up. I mean, like the whole chicken sandwich thing, I think brought them to the next level. So hopefully this will be good, and we'll try it out. The Voodoo Chicken Tenders from Popeyes. It's going in. You can faintly see some cumulonimbus clouds over there. I don't know if we'll capture any lightning, but hey, it's all good. And then I'll try, how about we try this piece right here. Just I'll dip it in the sauce, get some more concentrated flavor. If you couldn't tell already, I like it. I'm a fan of it. Take a sip of water. I'm a big fan of these, quite honestly. Some people, as I was researching these, I was trying to get some info about them to, gather up that intel. I was listening to the Popeyes numbers station on the shortwave, trying to get that secret info about it. And I was looking around, and one person I remember was saying they were really disappointed with this. Now I was thinking to myself, yeah, but I'm going to be impartial. I'm going to have, I'm not going to try and be biased or anything. It'll taste like what it tastes like. But I remember they were saying they thought it was so bland and so dry, and, they thought it was god-awful. But as I try this, I'm impressed by it, quite frankly. It has a really good blend of that sweetness and that spiciness. The sweetness comes in like, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me almost like a fruity type of sweetness, not like they just dumped sugar, but like, that natural sweetness that you get maybe in something like pineapple or something. Not that it's really pineapple flavored, but almost has that little bit of a hint of that type of sweetness. It's like a very just subtle sweetness. It's really nice. And it's the first thing that you notice. And it just gives you this nice sweetness. It blends together really well with the chicken. And then you get this spice. It's like it's a lingering spiciness, It's not overwhelming. It's not overbearing. But it's just prominently featured that it's like this transformative flavor. You go in, and the first bites you get that little bit of a sweetness. And then you get this spiciness as you kind of swallow it down. Then you notice the spiciness in the back of your mouth there. And you really notice it. It's not, again, like it's overwhelming, but it's just like, they really nailed the blend on this. I wouldn't necessarily say this is like a Cajun-inspired type of dish, but they really nailed the blend between that sweetness and spiciness, and it's just like a perfect blend. I really like it. You can't really taste the chives all that much, and they described it as being garlicky. I don't really taste any sort of garlic on it, so that's my one thing, but honestly, the chicken itself is still juicy, it's still tender, it's good quality meat, honestly, and it still has that nice crispy crunch to it as well. So honestly, I mean, I think that Popeyes did a darn good job with this. I think they did a really good job. $5 deal. Chicken tastes good. Good chicken tenders. But honestly, I just really like this sauce. How it blends together perfectly. One is not any more overwhelming than the other. It just mixes together. I mean, they nailed this sauce. So I really recommend you check this out. For $5, you can get the chicken tenders and the side as well. And out of 10. 8.5 out of 10. I'm impressed with Popeyes. They did a good job. And, yeah, I'm a fan. So, good on you, Popeyes. You guys did a good job. And with that, I think I'm going to pack it up and start cowering, because I see the storm's really rolling in here. But, with that, yeah, at least I have some good chicken tenders to snack on while I'm sheltering in place. But honestly, I'll stay safe. And also, make sure you check out my new podcast at youtube.com/VORW podcast. And support the channel, the radio show. I do want to expand some broadcasts to Europe. I'm talking to a transmitter provider in Bulgaria, but if you want that to be a reality for all listeners in Europe, just consider supporting at patreon.com/The Report of the Week. Great community with just a lot of exclusive content, and it's a good way to support it too. So consider it, check it out. And with that, that's all that I have. At least I am impressed with the Voodoo Chicken Tenders. Thank you and take care.